Hi, Luke from Korg here. Today I'm in the A-string studio and we're checking out this brand new piece of kit. This is the Kross 2. So what we've got here is our new entry-level workstation, available in two sizes. So this is the 61 key version we've got here in front of us, but it's also available on an 88 note as well. So with weighted keys. So for those piano players out there who want all of these features in a kind of stage piano format, that's available too. So everything I show you here will be exactly the same on the 88, just to clarify that. So the Kross was a very successful keyboard for us. So what we've done with the Kross 2 is we've taken that winning formula and we've improved it slightly. So first of all, the first thing you notice is the quality of the feel of the keyboard. So it's got this rubberized, texturized kind of feel to it, which is really nice. We've also added some pads. So 16 pads on here now. So they're velocity sensitive pads, which can be used for various different things, which I'll show you in a minute. We've upgraded the sounds. We've added USB audio on the back, so you can now, as well as streaming MIDI, you can stream audio. So it's a great kind of keyboard if you want to have a one-stop solution for a MIDI controller, an audio interface, because you've got also a mic in. We can also record audio on here straight to an SD card, and also trigger samples straight from an SD card. And we've added some real-time controllers. So we've now got these kind of hands-on ways to tweak out the sound, which I'll show you as well. So for me, the most exciting thing about this is we've now got these pads. So they've got different uses, and along the top here we can see what they do. So for instance, they can, if you want to, trigger samples. So if I go into my sampler section and go into there, I can hear one-shot drum samples. Or they could be one-shot hits of audio, so they could be literally anything that you want to sample from a CD or from a library you already have, or your own recordings, of course. Or they could be loops. So for instance here, so we've got a little intro there, but then on the second pad, I've set that up to latch. So I've got a loop for it. So that'll loop round. So these samples can be anything, and it's just a great way to introduce some extra audio into your set very easily, because you can import them onto an SD card, or you can sample directly in from the audio inputs. You can also play audio files, entire audio files, so that could be an a cappella, it could be a backing track from these pads as well, and you can use them as favourites. So that's great when you're playing live, or you're just at home in the studio and you can save all of your favourite sounds to be recorded from these pads. Plus we've got a step sequencer in here. So what the step sequencer allows you to do is program your drums on here, a little bit like our Volca series, if any of you have ever seen those. So the way that works is that let's just select our sound. So we're going to program mode here. I'm going to select a bass sound. Now I can press run, and you can see here, this is my kick drum. So I can put more kick drums in. But if I want to see more detail about what's going on with this pattern, I can just go Shift Setup, and then on my screen it shows me all the channels. So I can see hi-hats, and I can go up to them. Say, okay, there's my hats. Take some out, put them back in. Put the snare. So it's a great way to kind of get into programming drums, and some of the sounds already have pre-programmed step sequences with them, which is great. So as well as that, you've also got drum track, which are predetermined drum patterns. So if I go into, say, one of my categories here, say electric piano, the first one there, it's a nice tremolo kind of road sound. I can hit drum track and it will instantly give me a pattern. and I can change the tempo of that. I can change the pattern if I want to by going into the menu. So it's a really great way to just get involved and start jamming with a pattern straight away rather than just playing or rehearsing along to a metronome. It's a lot more live, and some of the patterns in there are really cool. So as I said, this is how you navigate your sounds. So it's very easy. So we're in program mode, single sounds at the moment. So we can go through and say, okay, let's go into the string category and let's see a load of strings, but you've also got some really nice solo strings and also some choirs in here as well. So let's go into, I found this really nice one the other day. Infinite Choir it's called. So that's a really nice kind of sound, just as a nice bed or to layer with other things. We can also, speaking of layering and splitting, we can do that straight from the front panel here. So let's go and find my nice synth lead sound, which I found earlier. It's in here, it is. So I've got my nice lead sound. Now if I want to layer that with something else or split it, I've got a dedicated button. Press that. And at the moment that's layered now with a pad sound. If I press layer or strings, if I press split, then it splits it. So I've got my pad down here, and I've still got my lead here. I can adjust the level of this part independently and also the octave. You saw me press this button as well, so this is an effect. These two switches, it changes depending on your sound. So here we're adding another sound, a couple of octaves above, and of course you've got your pitch bend and mod wheels as well. Now if I like that sound I've created, I can press right and it'll save it as a combination. So a combination of up to 16 sounds. Here obviously we've only got 2, but you've got the scope to go up to 16. If I don't want to do that, I can just press cancel and I'm back to my program mode again. So as I said earlier, another one of the great features of the new Kross is the fact you've got real-time controllers now. So that's really good, especially when you're using the arpeggiator, because you can latch the arpeggiator, take your hands off the keyboard and dig in and start tweaking the sounds. So I'm going to go and find a synthy kind of sound. Here we go. Turn on the arp, which is latched, so I just play a chord and it will play it in sequence. And now I'm free to get involved with the controls. Bring in the step sequencer. So it's just a great way to add some motion to your sound without having to play like a lunatic kind of thing. You can just get a nice loop going and get involved with the controllers. It's great. Plus you can also assign these knobs to do other things. So you can use it for filter as I was there, but you can also change the attack and release, so change the envelope of the sound, the effects, even control the mic input from there. And of course the arpeggiator itself, you can change the tempo and you can use this switch here as a tap tempo. So there's lots of extra things which have been added which are genuinely useful. So what else we got going on here? We've talked a lot about program mode. I'm now going to go into combi mode. So that stands for combination, up to 16 sounds. You can get some massive sounds in there. And again, they're all categorized, so it's dead easy. So you just go combi, and now they're not just single sounds. So when I'm looking at piano, for example, it won't just be a piano. It could be a layer of pianos. So for instance here. you get that nice kind of stacked up sound with some nice kind of bell type sounds in the background. And so on through the different categories, you get all sorts of different things going on, including split keyboards. So if I go into bass, it'll give me some bass sounds, but it'll also give me some really nice split keyboards. So I'm just going to turn off the drum track and the arp. So I've got kind of electric guitar and electric piano layered, and then a nice chunky bass sound with it. Stick on the drum track. What's cool though is that you can then record that at any time. We've got a sequencer built in, which I haven't mentioned yet. 16 track sequencer, has 2 modes. You can build up your sequence track by track up to 16 tracks. Plus you've got a quick record, which I think is brilliant on all of these workstations. It means that at any time you can just capture that moment of inspiration and get it straight down into the recorder. So all I do is hit record, set it to record. Do you want to continue? Yes. Now it's taken me straight into sequence mode. There's my click, so I know my tempo. And all I do is press play. It'll give me a count in and I can record. 2 bars in. 2, 3, 4. I can bring the drum track in when I want. Stop recording, press play, and there's what I recorded. Exactly the same. Same instrumentation, same effects, same tempo. But what's nice is you can quantize that if you want to, so you can knock everything into time. You can revoice it, you can change the tempo because it's only MIDI information at this stage. If I like that, I can save it onto an SD card, either as a Korg file or as a MIDI file. I can take that out, put it into my computer, edit it further there if I want to, incorporate it into another idea in a project. So yeah, from a workflow point of view, there's nothing quicker really than these workstations. Okay, so that is the Kross. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see any more information, have a look at the A Strings website. That's all for now.